Johnson. Melton. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Mr. President.
Please rise for the pledge and remarks by Councilmember Bagley.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon. Please be seated. Last Monday, February 17th, a state trooper by the name of Kyle McCasey lost his life in the line of service. Our hearts go out to he and his family and those in the law enforcement community. And it's a good reminder to all of us, road construction crews are out in Omaha. We got potholes. City crews will be out fixing those and doing work on our streets. My brothers and sisters at MUD and OPPD are out doing daily utility work, so please be cognizant of workers on the roads because they all want to get home to their families, and it's incumbent upon us to make sure we pay attention and everybody stays safe. Thanks, Mr. President.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
An affidavit of publication is on file for the pre-council and city council meeting, and a current copy of the Open Meeting Act is posted in a white binder on the east wall of legislative chambers.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Omaha City Council. We appreciate having you here today. We look forward to hearing from you on our many items. If you have difficulty hearing the proceedings today, you can contact our attendant here at the diocese for listening devices, or you may also access the screen in the back, which has closed captioning. And if you have your cell phones, remember to turn those off or at least to vibrate.
Item 6, to consider a Class C and Z liquor license for Golden Sheaf Event Center and Tasting Room located at 3309 Oakview Drive, Suite 104.
Public hearing and vote on number 6 is today. Proponents, please.
This is Sean Ilg, president and 100% owner of Golden Operations, doing business as Golden Sheaf.
Thank you. And your address?
3309 Oakview Drive, number 104, out by Oakview Mall, 68144.
Thanks. Any other proponents that want to speak today? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed. There's a motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Hug. Yes. Johnson. Yes. Melton. Yes. Rowe. Yes. Bagley. Aye. Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0.
Thank you, Council.
Item 7, to consider a Class C liquor license for Trax located at 18111 Q Street, Suite 107 to 108.
Public hearing and vote on number 7 is today. We have the applicant by Zoom. Ms. Connor will get you off mute here in a second. Okay, try that.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, Nikki Connor, 19032 R Street, Omaha, Nebraska, 68135. Here on behalf of Trax today. They're opening a second location in West Omaha, hoping to open in April. Here for any questions.
Thank you. Any other proponents that want to speak? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Mr. Bagley, you're recognized.
Thanks, Mr. President. Quick question. You're going to have the same recipes that you do at the original Trax on 60th. It's in the heart of my district.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, there's always rejoicing in the world when good wings are available, and I think this is Councilmember Rowe's district, so I wish you the best of luck, and I'll look forward to getting back up into Exarban and get some more wings. So good luck to you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Hug. Yes. Johnson. Yes. Melton.
Yes.
Rowe. Yes. Bagley. Aye. Harding. Yes. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0.
Thank you.
Item 8, to consider a Class I liquor license for K Nails located at 343 North 78th Street.
Public hearing and vote on number 8 is today. Proponents, please.
Hi, my name is Alan Compton on behalf of the K-Nails LLC, located at 343 North 78th Street in Omaha. Okay. Yes, and we would like to apply for the Class I to the liquor license just for the people offer inside for free, and the people come in to do manicure and pedicure, and they can, if they like it, they can take 2 ounces or 4 ounces max for the wine during they got the service from employee. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any other proponents that want to speak today? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing's closed.
Move the approval.
This does require a Rule 7 suspension.
Move to approve with the waiver of Rule 7.
Motion and a second. Roll call.
Hug. Johnson. Melton.
Yes.
Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed
Yeah.
7-0.
Thank you, Casa.
Good
Yeah,
luck.
thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Item 9, a resolution to approve the preliminary plat for Bel Air Village Replat 3, located southwest of 120th and Shirley Streets. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval.
Public hearing and vote on number 9 is today. Proponents, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, members of the council. My name is Scott Lose, 10836 Old Mill Road, here on behalf of Chabad Libovich. This is a religious assembly at 120th and Shirley, an existing building they're looking to expand with a new building addition, parking lot, landscaping, all the things that are required under R3 zoning and a conditional use permit that we are tracking along with this preliminary plat. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Any other proponents on number 9? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing's closed. There's a motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Hug. Johnson. Melton. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0.
Thanks.
Items 10 and 11 can be considered together for Smelter Plant Replat 3, located at 401 Riverfront Drive. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval. Items 10 and 11 are resolutions to approve the preliminary plat and final plat.
Public hearing and votes on number 10 and 11 are today. Proponents, please.
Chris Koenig, HDR, 1917 South 67th Street, Omaha. So what this replat is for is when they, this is part of Lewis and Clark Landing and the Riverfront development, is the previous plat had left a assumed diagonal parking along Riverfront Drive north of the Cubit Luminarium. When we got into final design and looking at that, for safety purposes, we decided not to add diagonal parking just to the amount of traffic on Riverfront Drive. It's a 2-lane street. And so it was, the existing curbs were left in place as a 2-lane street. The proposed replat will move the right-of-way so it lines up to the street to the north, right-of-way to the north, and also allow for the construction of the 2 pickleball courts that will be north of the Cubit Luminarium.
Great. Thank you. Any other proponents that want to speak today? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Ms. Johnson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I believe this location, this area resides in District 2. I'm in full support of this
Okay.
motion to approve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Hug. Johnson. Melton. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0. Item 12, an ordinance to approve a PUR overlay district located northeast of 18th and Locust Streets. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval.
Public hearing and vote on number 12 is today. Proponents, please.
Lawrence Butler on behalf of Locust Blocks 1614 LLC, 4809 Northwest Radio Highway. This is a proposed 4-story 36 affordable housing unit that is going to be developed in this location. We're still in the preliminary design stages, and we're just recommending for approval and here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any other proponents today? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing's closed. Ms. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. Thank you for the investment in area. Mr. Butler and I have sat down and had a conversation not only last week, but sometime last summer.
July 8th.
Huh?
July 8th.
July 8th, okay.
It was
Thank
hot.
you. But I believe this is a healthy influx of housing in the District 2 area, and I'm in full support of this. Motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. No further lights. Roll call.
Hug. Johnson. Melton.
Yes.
Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed, 7
Good
to
luck.
0. Consent agenda. Any member of the city council may cause any item placed on the consent agenda to be removed. Items removed from the consent agenda shall be taken up by the city council immediately following the consent agenda in the order in which they were removed unless otherwise provided by the city council rules of order.
The public hearings on agenda items 13 and 14 were held on February 11th. I don't see any further lights. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion is second to approve. Roll call.
Hug. Johnson. Melton.
Yes.
Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed, 7 to 0.
The public hearings on agenda items 15 through 38 are today. If you wish to address the city council regarding these items, please come to the microphone, indicate the agenda item number you wish to address, identify yourself by name and address and who you represent, and if you are a proponent or an opponent. These are items 15 through 38. Seeing none, public hearings are closed.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Hug. Johnson. Melton. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed, 7 to 0. Item 39, a resolution to approve the settlement agreement for Gordon and Josephine Peterson versus City of Omaha in the amount of $165,000.
The public hearing and vote on number 39 is today. Proponents, please. Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Hug. Johnson. Melton.
Yes.
Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed, 7 to 0. Item 40, a resolution to approve the appointment of Cecil Hicks Jr. to the Library Board.
The public hearing and vote on number 40 is today. Proponents, please.
Good afternoon, Cecil Hicks, 2619 North 56th Street, 68104. Here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any other proponents today? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Ms. Johnson, is your light on?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hi, thank you, Mr. Hicks, for showing up. I really appreciate that. I'm sure others in the community appreciate you showing up so that they can have a face with a name and also get an opportunity for you to do a info commercial, if you will, at this time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. I am just really appreciative for this opportunity. I've always been a lifetime learner. I'm currently, my profession is Director of Talent Development, so my background is human resources by trade, also an adjunct professor at UNO. And I just see the library system as just a continual opportunity to connect communities and provide access and opportunity for all. And just I feel like my background in not only human resources, but the several boards I sat on could add some values and assets to continue to bring the vision forward, that the great vision has already been set with facility planning and all the neat things with the mission. I think I have a great opportunity to provide some of my talents and then lend those to continued success with the library system.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Move the approval.
I'm happy to support this nomination as well. One thing that Mr. Hicks did not mention is that he's had previous service with the City of Omaha. He was a Director of Human Resources and Personnel for 4 years for Mayor Fahey and distinguished himself in that role, so I know he'll be a great addition to the Library Board. Thanks for willing to serve. And welcome back. There's a motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Hug. Johnson. Melton.
Yes.
Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed, 7 to 0. Item 41, a resolution to approve the appointment of Danielle Price to the Omaha Municipal Land Bank.
Public hearing on vote on number 41 is today. Proponents, please. Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Ms. Johnson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Item number 41, Omaha Municipal Land Bank. We're putting on a non-voting member, someone that is not present. District 2 is the largest area that Land Bank currently has in terms of vacant property. And I don't take my position as a leader in that community lightly. I have a responsibility to the community to ask and give the community an opportunity to know who's being added to the Land Bank Board. Also, in addition to that, in order for me to do due diligence, the fact that this individual is not present, the community does not have an opportunity to meet he or she, is somewhat concerning to me. And while others on this committee or this board, city council, may feel that this is insignificant or doesn't have any value in terms of me having the opportunity to do due diligence, I disagree with that. And for that reason, I will not be supporting this, and I have made a stance on this issue over and over again. And I will not waver from this position. So each and every time we choose to allow someone to not show up to city council for these appointments, please be mindful that my answer will be no. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Harding, you're recognized.
Thank you. One can do their due diligence by picking up the phone and making a call to ask those questions, so I'll move for approval.
Second.
There's a motion, a second to approve. Ms. Johnson?
Thank you. I don't believe that my fellow council member has the authority to suggest how I can apply due diligence, since that's a personal choice. However, I respectfully acknowledge his thoughts on the process. Thank you.
Thank you. There's no further lights. There's a motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Hug.
Yes.
Johnson. Melton.
Yes.
Rowe. Bagley.
Aye.
Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed 6-1. Item 42, a resolution to approve the appointment of Johnny Nesbitt to the Omaha Municipal Land Bank.
Public hearing and vote on number 42 is today. Proponents, please. Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Ms. Johnson?
Second.
Ms. Johnson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr.
Yep.
President. And again, I'm unable to apply due diligence. This is an important committee appointment. I believe it's necessary for me to be able to apply due diligence that the person needs to be present. Therefore, I will not vote in the affirmative on this appointment. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Harding?
I forgot to point out on the last one, I'll point out for this one that we're on now as well as the next, we do need at least 5 to pass this by state statute.
Mhm. All right, there's no further lights. There's a motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Hug.
Yes.
Johnson. Melton.
Yes.
Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed 6-1. Item 43, a resolution to approve the appointment of Chad Tettenborn to the Omaha Municipal Land Bank.
Public hearing and vote on number 43 is today. Proponents, please. Seeing none, any opponents?
Good afternoon, Omaha City Council. Donnie R. Johnson, the Johnson Equestrian Foundation, and North Omaha Concerned Citizen Foundation, 4928 North 52nd Street. I'd like to point out that everyone is upset with Mr. Elon Musk. He has no vote.
Any other opponents to number 43? Seeing none, public hearing is closed.
Move the approval.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
My light is on.
Oh, I did not see your light. Go ahead, Ms. Johnson.
Again, unable to apply due diligence. Another appointment for land bank, and the property vacant in District 2 is in my district, and it is important for these appointments to be present. So again, I will not vote for this.
Okay, thank you. I don't see any further lights. There was a motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Hug. Johnson. Melton. Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed 6-1. Item 44, an ordinance to acquire private property for the construction of the Pacific Street Bridge washout repair.
The public hearing on number 44 is today. Proponents, please. Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Item 45, an ordinance to approve a major amendment to the Avenue 1 Mixed-Use District Development Agreement. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval.
The public hearing on number 45 is today. Proponents, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Erin Olendyke. I'm with CDA Engineering LLC. I'm here tonight on behalf of Haverkamp Group. My address is 4121 Northwest Urbandale Drive in Urbandale, Iowa. We are here to offer our support for this item, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Okay, thank you. Any other proponents on this item? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Thank you.
Item 46, an ordinance to approve a major amendment to the Shadow View Village Mixed-Use District Development Agreement. Planning Board and Planning Department recommend approval.
Public hearing on number 46 is today. Proponents, please.
Hi, my name is Joe Flaxbeard with Lamper Nearson, 14710 West Dodge Road. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, and I'm happy to answer any questions should you have any. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other proponents on this item? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Thanks.
Item 47, an ordinance to approve the Rose at Barcalo's Tax Increment Financing Redevelopment Agreement.
Public hearing on number 47 is today. Proponents, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, council members. Bob Griffith, 11440 West Center Road, here on behalf of the applicant. The Mensch Group LLC with me today as well is the applicant, Philip McLean, and Melvin Studbeck as well, who's the home builder. So here to answer any questions you have.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other proponents?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
My name's Phil McLean. I'm the developer on this project, here to answer any questions that anybody might have.
Thank you.
Don Seaton, City Planning, also here for questions.
All right. Any other proponents on number 47? Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Next item.
Item 48, an ordinance to accept and authorize disbursement for an agreement with UNO in the amount of $88,777 for the UNO School of Criminology and Criminal Justice.
Public hearing on number 48 is today. Proponents, please. Seeing none, any opponents?
Yes, sir. Omaha City Council. Donnie R. Johnson, the Johnson Equestrian Foundation, and North Omaha Concerned Citizen Foundation. The only problem I have with this is my daughter, she studied at Iowa State. She went to Jamaica for a semester to study. My son, who went to Creighton, he went to Europe to study for a semester. So I would like to see more money for the University of Nebraska Omaha students to have more money to study criminology outside the United States and outside of the area of the Midwest and Omaha, Nebraska. We have an abundance of new international students coming to study with us. Let's let some of our students go study with them. And then they can see them bagpipes from UNO. They're real nice.
Okay. Any other opponents to number 48? Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Next item.
Item 49, an ordinance to approve an agreement with UNO in the amount of $32,005 to collaborate with the District of Nebraska Project Safe Neighborhoods Task Force.
Public hearing on number 49 is today. Proponents, please. Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed. Next item.
Item 50, an ordinance to approve an agreement with UNO in the amount of $268,174 to implement the Engaging Networks within the community of Omaha to maintain and promote a safe society project.
Public hearing on number 50 is today. Proponents, please. Seeing none, any opponents? Public hearing is closed.
Non-action items, items 51 through 105, do not require public hearing or city council consideration at this meeting, but will be placed on a future agenda for public hearing and or vote. The reason for non-action is noted after the item on the agenda, as well as the date the item is expected to appear on agenda for consideration.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? Roll call.
Hug. Johnson. Melton.
Yes.
Rowe. Bagley. Harding. Mr. President.
Yes.
Motion passed 7-0. Meeting is adjourned at 2:26.